everybody to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Sandra Fidelis, and she's a dating coach at sandrafidelis.com, and I'm so excited to have her here today because we're talking about he's great, but I'm not that attracted to him. But before we get into this hot topic, Sandra, I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about you.
Hi, Suzanne. Thank you so much for having me, and hello to everyone. So the way I got started in coaching women within the context of dating is that I've been into personal development since I was a teenager, and it's just something that it developed into this niche, this dating niche, because of my personal experience with dating. And a few years ago, I had a relationship implode in my face, and I had to take a really long, hard look at how I was showing up in relationships. So that's how it started for me.
So I'm sure in that process you learned a lot, and now you're passing along all this great information to women, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly how it happens for most of us, right?
Exactly. So, okay, let's jump into this topic about he's great, but I'm not that attracted to him. So tell us more about this topic.
Yeah, this is a biggie, isn't it?
It is. I hear this all the time from my matchmaking clients. I'll set them up. I'll go, yeah, he's great, but I'm not that attracted to him. And I'm so tired of hearing it, so I want to hear what you have to tell the ladies.
Right. Well, chemistry is a funny thing. Chemistry happens, and it's sort of like we're doped up, right? When we feel that strong chemistry for somebody. Mm-hmm. And when we don't, I think a few things happen. One, I think that when women don't have chemistry with a guy, it could mean that it's because there's something in that dynamic that isn't going to produce the same results that they've had in the past with men. So, for example, if you have a blueprint where you witness some things going on in your childhood, whether it was that your opposite sex parent was unavailable, mm-hmm. or there was some abuse, and you've had a pattern in your relationships, your past relationships with men, where you felt strong chemistry, but then the relationship sort of turned out the way that some of those patterns that you witnessed growing up. Mm-hmm. And you're probably going to have chemistry with people that are going to produce those same results. And sometimes what I see with women is that if a guy is going to, if they've had those patterns, and if a guy comes into their life and the guy is, ready to treat them really well, mm-hmm. they all of a sudden don't have chemistry with them.
Wow, that's interesting.
Right. And so, I see this a lot with women where the guy's great, he's really kind, he's very respectful, he's got his life in order, he's a great catch, you could bring him home to mom, right? Mm-hmm. The attraction isn't there.
Right.
And so what I tell women is to first ask yourself, do I need a gorgeous guy on my arm, right? Mm-hmm. That question. Is it that I really need Brad Pitt on my arm?
That's a really good point.
Right. And so if I just need to feel a certain chemistry for a certain level of attraction for a guy, and then see where things go and see how the attraction develops, mm-hmm. Then you're good. But if it's that you really need somebody who's gorgeous on your arm, it could mean that there's something inside of you that feels inadequate in the looks department.
I was just going to ask you that. I was going to say it almost sounds like a woman's insecure because she needs a hot guy on her arm. But I think that goes in reverse too. I think the guys that need the hot woman on their arm are a little bit insecure too.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely. And I think that a lot of women, a lot of women do struggle with, with looks and with feeling inadequate in the looks department. And that's a way to sort of make up for that, that feeling like making up for that confidence, in the looks. So, ask yourself that. Is it that I'm just not attracted to him because I need somebody on my arm? Or could it be something else? Could it be that chemistry isn't there for you because you don't feel like he's going to be able to maybe play out those subconscious patterns that you've had?
Right, right.
Another thing to do is to try giving it a few more dates, right? So if you go out on a date with a guy and the first date, you say to yourself, I'm not attracted to him. I'm going to blow this guy off. Then, just stop yourself and ask yourself if you're willing to give it a couple more dates to see if the chemistry and the attraction develops.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really great point and I love that you said that, because what I tell women is that unless you see some blatant red flags on a first date about a guy, if he's, like, as you said, if he's that great, but you're just not attracted, I think you should go out on a couple more dates, like you said, because it may develop. Because sometimes people are nervous on a date and they're not really themselves. So attraction just isn't about the physical looks. It's about everything else, too.
Exactly. And guys, they are so nervous on the first date.
Exactly.
Especially if they're into you and they're attracted to you. They want to impress you. They want you to like them. And sometimes that brings up that anxiety and they just don't act like themselves, right? And women pick up on that, and that's, that comes off as the guy having a lack of confidence, and that in turn could make you less attracted to him. So give it a few more dates before you cut them off.
And I want to make another point, ladies, because I think this is really important too, because I can hear all the women going, no, I don't want to go out on another date if I'm not attracted. Is think in the past of all those guys that you were attracted to, that you went out on dates with, and then after the third date it completely ended because you're like, this guy isn't what I was looking for. So let's change it up a little and start looking at things a little bit differently, and you actually might meet the right guy that is a long-lasting relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. So the last tip I would give on that, Suzanne, is to, if you meet a guy who's great, who has all of these wonderful characteristics, why don't you, and you feel like, okay, right now, I'm just not attracted enough to continue seeing him in a romantic manner, right? Just become his friend. Like, what's the big deal in having a male friend? You never know what could come out of it.
That's true. And I love that you said that, because I tell my female clients that too all the time, is that, okay, so it didn't work with him, and like you said, you could become friends. You never know who his buddies are, and that he may say, she's a great girl, I want to set her up with my friend, or whoever it is, right?
Right. If he's a generous, open guy, yeah, absolutely. That's an absolute possibility. But what I do say is, if you are going to, quote unquote, put him in the friend zone, be really clear about your intention, right? So don't lead the guy on and, just until you're feeling like you're attracted to him, or if there's a possibility for you to feel attracted to him, let him know, listen, right now I don't feel that I could pursue something with you. That's romantic, but I would love to continue, having a friendship and developing a friendship with you, and understand that he's going to go off and date other women, and, you have to be cool with that too.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because you can't have it both ways.
Exactly.
I know. And ladies, I want to add one more thing about this attraction and looks, because I think there's too much emphasis put on the physical looks and their body and things like that. Is, ladies, again, I want you to think back into your past relationship history and think about the reasons why you fell in love with the guy, whoever it was that you fell in love with him. And those reasons, I will bet, had nothing to do with physical attraction and had more to do with the way he treated you, the connection you had, the common interest, and your core values. And I will bet that it wasn't about the physical attraction. It was the initial physical attraction, but after that wore off, all those other things came into play, and that's what made you fall in love with him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
And to add to that, I know that a lot of women have, gone for the hot guy. I have to have this gorgeous guy. And once you start, the relationship with this guy, the looks piece doesn't really play into it anymore. They just become like a regular person to you.
That's true. That's true. Well, these have been some great tips. So, Sandra, tell our audience how they can find you.
So you can find me at sandrafidelis.com. And Suzanne has a special gift. I'm actually gifting you guys something special. It's a dating confidence kit. And what it is a report on 10 signs that he's totally into you and 10 signs that he's totally not into you. So make sure you pick that up. And then there's also a guided meditation, a bonus guided meditation with this dating confidence package that you'll receive. And you can, it's a 10-minute guided meditation. You can pop it in before you go on a date to, raise your confidence and make sure you have, a successful night or day or wherever you're going on your date.
That's awesome. Ladies, so if you're watching the video, you can click right below. I'll have the link right below the video to get your free gift from Sandra. And if you're listening to the podcast, you can go to singleonstilettos.com and you will see Sandra's free gift. So thanks everybody for joining us on the Single on Stilettos show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, you can go to singleonstilettos.com. And if you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you'd like to get our free report on the top 10 secrets on what attracts a man and what turns him off, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleonstilettos.com.